Alright, in this video we'll see how to create a plugin that will showcase all the services which the photographer is doing. So the photographer is doing corporate event, engagement shoot, wedding shoot, product photography and fashion photography. So these are categorized into events, and also these are categorized into products. The services are categorized into products and services are categorized into wedding. So in wedding there is engagement and wedding shoot, and in products there is fashion shoot and product photography, and in event there is corporate event. And based on that we can also set the duration. You can see the duration is 4 hours, here the duration is 3 hours, either here the duration is 3 hours. If you want the duration to be 2, you can just click on filter, and based on that the duration to filter shows up. The services with 2 hour duration shows up. Now as a visitor, as a website visitor, I want a service from the photographer. What I'll do is, I want a wedding photo shoot. Let me pick a slot 12 p.m. and click on book session. Now I need to enter my name and my phone number. Now this notification will be sent to the website admin. So website admin has to get into the dashboard and he has to click into this booking link. So once it's clicked, you will see a guy named Vishal booked for the service called wedding photo shoot, and this is the time slot that he has picked, and this is his phone number. And in that's how the request or the inquiry we can send to the photographer. And if suppose the photographer wants to add one more event, one more service, he can just simply get into add, and the service he is going to add is event coverage. So there could be a school event, there could be any type of event, and it's going to be 2 hours, and he is categorizing it as events. And the relevant photo is this one I'm picking. Now once it is set, an archive page, this particular service will be shown. So in this archive page you will see the event coverage has shown up. Even on any devices you will see the new event added. So as a website visitor, he wants to book an event, let's say on 2 p.m. He just need to simply type his name, he just simply need to give his phone number and click on confirm. Once the confirm is done, the session is booked, and the website visitor can get into this link and check the recent entry that he has got. Fine, this is how the plugin flows work. Now let me show you what are the things that we are going to learn today. So now we'll be creating a custom post type with meta box. So the custom post type is post type photography session. Here we have two post type. The one is photography session and the second one is bookings, where we can see all the booked information. Now along with that we'll be having a custom post or custom fields. So this post has two custom fields. Here we are setting the duration, and also we are setting the photography type, or you can say the services category, and also the featured image. Now we'll be seeing how to create custom post type, we'll be seeing how to create custom fields, or you can say in WordPress term as meta box. Now we have WP list table. WP list table by default WordPress gives very limited information like title and date, and what we have done is we have added rich information like the meta box data or the custom field data that we display on the table. In this table, not only on this table, also for the bookings, it has complete information for which services someone has booked, for who has actually booked the information, the customer, you can see the customer name, the customer phone, the time that he has chosen, the session that he has, the services that he has chosen, along with the service images. That itself is extremely descriptive for this particular page. You don't have to go anywhere, all the data are available in this particular page itself, but WordPress simply gives you only title and date. But we have added making this table more informative, and we'll see how to customize this. Now we have a archive page. Archive page by default WordPress gives an archive page of very simple thing, but here we are going to create a archive page that would show all the services in the grid format. So you can see, and you will see you also have a filter. So the filter also works based on the selection that you have made. So this archive page, you'll see how to create it. Along with that, AJAX handling. When someone books services, you will see without page refresh, he will get the services getting booked. Without page refresh, the services got booked. So we'll see how to make the AJAX handling as well. And without wasting time, let's get started. First of all, what we need to do is we need to delete, or not delete, we'll just deactivate the current plugin so that it doesn't cause conflict to our current plugin which we are creating. So let me deactivate this, and we need to create a new file, and this should be there on the folder called plugins. Since I have installed WordPress locally, I have to get into the plugins folder, and let me just uh, uh, what the folder name that we have to go give is photography. This is my plugin folder, and inside that I want to create a PHP file, and this PHP file should be as same as your folder name. Now we need to pass information about the plugin, like plugin name, plugin description, plugin version, and author through the PHP command. Let's do that. Now this is the plugin name, UI photography, and descriptive we have, and the version that we have, and the author name. If I make a refresh, you will see the link will be available. So once I click on activate, what happens is I want to create a sidebar link that here we'll call as custom post type, and that link need to be added. So for that we'll create a function and attach the function to the init hook. Let's do that. So our function got attached to init hook, and this function simply creates a post type. So let me give a unique handle to it, photography, and this is the label that you'll see on the sidebar, and we are saying the archive is true. It's because we want to show our post on the archive page, and this is to identify the custom post type with the icon, and then we are specifically setting uh, so this is the slug for the archive page. Now this is enough. Just to once your plugin is active, you will see on the sidebar a link called photography session, and yes, just a photography. And if I click on add post, so we have made this label as photography. If you make an add post, you will see only the title, only the feed image, because we have made this port of title and thumbnail to show up. That's why it's showing only this. Now I want a custom field to be added, so we have a hook called meta boxes, and this meta boxes has to be linked to this CPT. So this is the handle, so we have to link it. Now only we need the duration, and we need the type. So once it is linked, you will see two input field called duration and what do you call type, duration and type. So when someone clicks on publish, what happens is by default WordPress only saves the default way which the WordPress agrees. So now we have WordPress only agrees on title and feature image. It doesn't care about your advanced custom field, the advanced custom, you can just say custom field. It doesn't care about your meta box. So to make our meta box value save into the post, we have to specifically write a code for that. So just to give you a background, when a post is saved, there are two tables that get updated, when the major post information and the information about the post. The information about the post will usually be the meta boxes. Meta boxes is nothing but the more description about this particular post. So these information will get stored in the meta box, WP post meta. So these information get stored into the WP post meta. We can access those value with the help of get post meta function, and we need to pass the post ID. So as a so post usually have ID, at that access the foreign key, so a primary key, and that primary key we need to pass to the WP post meta as a foreign key. Now these are the key in the WP post meta. All the values are stored in key and value. So this is key, and whatever you write inside the input field value will act as a value. Again, this is a key. Whatever you write into a value, it's called as a value. Now let's save. I want the meta box to also get saved. So for that, let's call a what do you call a hook called save post. So let's call a hook, and just to make sure this has to be your CPT handle, and that's enough. Once you press on update button, all the values of the input field get stored into the form post variable. So we'll access with the help of form post variable, you can see super global variable, and updating it into the table which is WP post meta with the help of update post meta. Now to get information from the WP post meta, we'll use get post meta. Now to update or to insert value inside WP post meta, we'll use update post meta. So that's the difference between update post meta and get post meta. I hope that is clear. So let's just try adding one or two posts. So let's just add two posts, one for product service, and the second one let's just choose wedding. So this is fashion. mostly it could be related to clothing. Let's select the clothing brand, clothing image, and click on publish. So one services of photography that we have made. So let's add another services. Let's use engagement shoot. Engagement shoot duration is 3 hours, and this comes in the category of wedding. Let's pick a engagement photo. So with family, and click on publish. So I want to see what are the services that so far I have added. So we have to get into the link called photography, where by default WordPress gives you only title and date. Let's make this information rich. So for that, what we have to do is we need to work on the filter. We need to work on two filter. The first filter will actually have only the headings. So this is the handle that we need to pass. So this will have only the handle, like we have duration, we have type, we have image. That would be displayed: image, duration, and type. Now each post data based on image, duration, and type, we need to add it again. We need to go for the hook again. So the value should be based on image, duration, and type. So we'll run a switch case, and that switch case should properly link to this custom post type. Here our custom post type handle is just photography, and if it is thumbnail, then get the thumbnail. If it is duration, get the duration. If it is type, get the type. So as I have already said, all the data about the post will be stored in the post meta. So we'll be using get post meta, and that's enough to make our plugin table gets completely populated with information. Now what we need is, so if I click on view, I want the archive page. Usually the archive page will be this photography, but WordPress will not identify this photography, because in this plugin I have specifically made that this archive should have the photography. Now we need to rewrite the URL. So WordPress should know that this plugin which we have activated has a new rewrite rule, which is the slug should be photography for this photography CPT. So once we update the permalink, the URL would be rewritten and all the data would be displayed in the category archive page. By default, this is how the archive page of this particular theme looks like. But what I want is, I want a custom archive page for this CPT. So to make that, we have to look for the hook called archive template, and if the archive template, if the CPT is photography, then create a archive page with this name and link it. So far what happened is, we just see this archive page which is coming from theme, but if I refresh, it will be blank now, because when WordPress identify this is the post type that the archive would be shown, it simply shows this page, but this page is actually blank. So according to the logic, what should happen here, the CPT information of each post should be displayed along with the filter. That's it. We just need an HTML styled. Make sure the CPT is just as of now we have photography, and that's it. All the data should be displayed, and also the filter. So whatever you get here, that will show on the drop down. Whatever you add here, that will show on the type. That's a simple jQuery, we don't have to worry about it. But the major problem here is, if someone books a slot, we want these data, which services and who has filled the form, need to get to the database. So we'll use AJAX to send the services information, also the user information who has inquired, and we'll send it to the database. So for that, we'll create a AJAX request, and that AJAX request should specifically have an action. In WordPress, the action is required because action is responsible for handling the request which we have received from let's suppose we are sending a request, AJAX request. Which function should handle this AJAX request? So that questions gets answered by this action. So now let's handle the request which we get from AJAX, and now whatever you write here will be the action. And I have received all the value which they have sent using AJAX, and I've stored into a variable. Now consider each inquiry will be a post, and as I said, one post can have multiple metadata, and that metadata, or you can say meta boxes. So that meta boxes information will be stored in the post meta. So when someone enters an inquiry, that inquiry will get stored into this CPT called photography inquiry, QUIRY, gets stored into the photography inquiry. And once the post is created, the ID would be given. So this is a primary key for this post, but it would be a foreign key for the WP post meta. So whatever data I have received through AJAX, I'll update it as a meta box data with the help of created post ID. And now if I make an inquiry, the data would be stored in the post meta. So let's make an inquiry on 9 let's just say Vishal, and now random number, click on confirm. So it says booked successfully, but we haven't added a CPT here. Now we need to create a CPT, so that CPT should get linked to the custom post type. So for that, let me just show you. Click on the photography. I just want you to notice the URL here. Now when someone clicks, I want the post type should have this handle, and let the name be enquiry, ENQUIRY, and this is it should have only title, you don't have to worry about it. But the major problem is this CPT which you are creating should get linked to the already created CPT, so that can be linked with this help of URL. Just need to pass this URL over here. So once I've made this, WordPress will identify that this should be a submenu of the CPT. So now since we have only one inquiry made, so this is how it looks like. Now as we have already seen how to make this data rich, this table rich, we'll do the same. We need to first define the title. We need to first define the title of the page. Let's just let's just change the CPT handle, and again for each row, based on the column, the data should be fetched from post meta with the help of get post meta. Now just to see, yeah, data works fine. You can see all that it's actually get post meta. Let's try adding one post, or adding one services. So the service will be like let's focus on corporate event, and it is of 4 hours, and let's pick a corporate event image. Click on set featured image and click on publish. Now a new services has been added, and that is going to be events. So that is corporate event. So let me book a event by the name John, and this is his phone number, and he has made a request or inquiry for the corporate event. So as an admin, I'll be getting into the inquiry link, and it says a customer named John has booked a corporate event session with this is his phone number, and this is the slot he has chosen. I hope the scope of this video is done. Thank you so much for listening.